This is the BYD Shark 6. No, we're not going to review it now. We've already done that. You can click on the top right-hand banner to watch our video. Now, what you're seeing right now is that the Shark 6, as well as this coffee machine, is drawing power from the car that we are reviewing this week. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Perhaps it's capabilities like this that makes this car so popular. By the way, this is the BYD Ti 7. It launched in China in September 2025, and by July 2026, cumulative sales had reportedly crossed 200,000 units. And with a starting price of 157,000 dirhams or roughly $43,000, it's a similar story here in the UAE as well. So what is it that makes this car so popular among people across two of the most demanding markets in the world? Well, let's break it down now, shall we? Firstly, for the price, the Ti 7 sits well below the prestige SUVs its boxy shape seems to reference. But at over 5 meters long, nearly 2 meters wide, and 1.86 meters tall, it still has a genuine full-size road presence, which is further helped by the high bonnet, broad shoulders, and distinctive H-shaped LED headlamps. Depending on the variant, the Ti 7 sits on either 19 or 20-inch wheels, both fitted with the road-focused tires, which are the only factory options available. Secondly, it's green. And I'm not just talking about the lovely emerald green paintwork. The Ti 7 is also green in the way that it is powered by a plug-in hybrid system. That means you'll find a charging port on one side and a traditional fuel filler on the other. But the Ti 7 is not only about looking modern. There is a clever focus on everyday practicality too. It avoids flush-fitting door handles, which in my book makes them more convenient to use. And at the rear, there's another clever touch. At first glance, it might look like a spare wheel holder, but what it is additional storage compartment, which is just big enough for a charging cable or anything you would rather keep out of the cabin. And that practical thinking becomes even more apparent once you notice the sheer amount of space in the interior. It feels as spacious as a studio apartment in here, and the credit for that goes to the boxy exterior shape we saw earlier. It is worth clarifying that the Ti 7 is a 5-seater rather than a 3-row SUV. So all of that space is dedicated to 5 passengers, allowing for ample legroom and headroom in both rows. Couple that with 47 compartments spread throughout the cabin, including the space under the center console and the cup holders, which are large enough to hold proper family-sized bottles. The top-of-the-line premium variant also gets ventilated seats in both rows, while the front seats add a massaging function. Beneath the front armrest, there's also a built-in refrigerator, keeping drinks and snacks cool. These are not just merely luxury extras in the UAE. These are features you would genuinely appreciate during longer journeys and throughout the summer. In terms of toys to play with, the driver gets a 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster paired to a multicolored heads-up display. In the middle of the dashboard rests a 15.6-inch central infotainment system that supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it even has a karaoke app. But since this was a demo model, we couldn't access it. Your devices can stay powered thanks to a 50-watt wireless charging pad at the front and 4 USB ports that are spread across the cabin. And for the rear passengers who would rather bring their own entertainment, there's also mounting points behind the front seats for phones or tablets. The Ti 7 is offered in 2 variants, and here's a list showing all the major features offered in each of those trims. And then there is a luggage space. You get a 485-liter main boot and up to 1,880 liters when the rear seats are folded. So it's easy to see why the Ti 7 has become so popular as a family SUV. But practicality is not the only reason why it's so popular. The Ti 7 is a plug-in hybrid. It's powered by BYD's DMP or dual motor power technology. It runs primarily on electric power, while the 1.5-liter turbocharged petrol engine steps in under hard acceleration or when additional performance is required off-road. With its 26.6 kWh battery pack fully charged and its 60-liter fuel tank topped up, BYD claims a combined driving range of up to 870 kilometers. Now comes the fun part, the power. So the Ti 7 makes 480 horsepower and 630 Nm of torque. The 0 to 100 km/h time of this car is claimed to be around 5 seconds, and I have no doubts that it can achieve it. In our testing, we managed to clock it at 5.2 seconds, which is quicker than what BYD claims. But beyond the straight line pace, this is an easy car to live with. The high seating position gives you a commanding view, while the damped multi-link suspensions keeps the ride smooth when going over broken surfaces. The Ti 7 also has all the driver assist features you would imagine, like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, plus something called blind spot view or indicator mode. So when you're changing lanes, the camera from the right mirror shows you a feed on the infotainment system. But don't let the soft family-focused character fool you. Take the Ti 7 off the tarmac and it can handle some serious punishment. The SUV's 190mm of laden ground clearance, paired with 24-degree approach angle, 25-degree departure angle, and 22-degree breakover angle, means that it doesn't shy away from a dune. In fact, it's quite capable even when driving over soft sand. Here, in the middle of the desert, under the scorching sun, the Ti 7 proves that it can truly handle more than what it's asked for, and surprisingly in utmost comfort. But all that dune bashing in the heat did reveal one major weakness with the Ti 7. What I did notice is that, yes, the battery does charge on the go, but it decreases very quickly, especially when you're driving in sport mode. And it does take a considerable amount of time to recharge it back to, say, 80%. And when you're below a certain percent, you're limited to using the regular drive modes. So if you want to access all that the Ti 7 can offer, then make sure that you have at least 50% of charge. Well, I suppose all of that shows you why the Ti 7 is such a hit. I mean, of course, it's not a car without flaws, and honestly, no car is. If you're trying to migrate from a car with a big engine and a lot of noise, it's going to take you some time to get used to the silence in the Ti 7. But make no mistake, in every other aspect, the Ti 7 is up there with the others. And for 170,000 dirhams or roughly $46,000, which is the price of the top of the range model, it's almost unbeatable considering the amount of things that it's bringing to the table. What I can understand from my time with the Ti 7 is that it's for people who are looking for something in between the BYD Atto 8 and the Denza B5. It's as luxurious and comfortable as the Atto 8, and almost as capable as the Denza B5 when you take it off the beaten ground. We of course reviewed both the Atto 8 and the Denza B5 on the Auto Drive channel. You can check them out by clicking the top right hand corner, so you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. If you don't want to fully commit to the Ti 7, you can rent it out from the Self Drive app and know how it fits your life. And that was our time with the Ti 7. If you liked the video, do remember to subscribe to the Auto Drive channel if you haven't already, and do remember to activate the notifications icon because that'll help you stay in track with all our latest content. Another way of keeping track with all our content and to see some behind-the-scenes footages would be to follow us on all our social media channels. Until we see you next time with a brand new car, this is Philip signing off. You've been watching Auto Drive, powered by Self Drive.